everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Outside the Fire. I'm your host, Crazy J. I have another exciting couple. I think this completes my interview with couples for this. But these two, they hit the ground running as well. Whenever they realized there were records to be had, they reached for them. They're definitely competitors in the chili world, and they are easily in the top 19 of my favorite competitors for this upcoming competition. But I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. Let's go ahead and bring them straight in. Please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Scoville Unit.
All right, now he likes me more.
Welcome. Thank you for squeezing me into your busy lives.
No problem.
Anything for you, my friend.
Oh, that's how I feel for everybody else that I interviewed. Well, we are here because you two, most recently, Beth has just been added to the contests.
Yep.
Hey,
And
Mitch. Hey, Sonny.
Mr. Scoville Unit, you are in the belt match, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And then Beth, you are hitting the road, right?
Yeah.
That's no problem because you'll be sitting beside each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope.
I know there was a, I guess, behind the scenes or secondary in Dallas, right? And you participated in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sick, though, so I didn't.
You weren't ready. You were just kind of thrown
No.
into the mix.
I've never had a pepper pod before, except
Awesome.
once. And that was a dried pod. And Jason from Late for Work and Kris talked me into it confidently. I'm like, oh, I'm fine.
Right.
And then I ended up crying, calling my mom, having a meltdown, thinking I was dying.
Midge.
So it's going to be interesting to see how far I've come.
Yes. Well, as I start off all my shows, we've met the Scoville Unit before, but we've never met you, Miss Scoville Unit. So give us a little background, whatever you're comfortable giving us. Maybe where you're from or whatever. So this is your time.
Yeah. So I'm from Bradford County, PA. I met Kris online, Tinder, and it was supposed to be a one-night stand, and he's still hanging out. You're welcome. And about me, I play video games. Nintendo wants to sponsor me. I don't really get that portion because all I do is Fortnite and Animal Crossing. But hey, whatevs. I'm techie. I like to build computers. I like cars. I like trucks. I like to build vehicles. Yeah, I have fur babies, and I love animals more than people.
Excellent.
That's me in a nutshell.
Excellent. And you're one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you. That means so much.
Great, really. You both are. You both really are. But,
Thank you.
He still is.
Chris also has a rough and rugged side that he likes to do from time to time. And I don't blame you for that at all.
Gotta keep an image, man. Can't always be soft.
That's it. Nobody asks anybody to be soft. That's for sure.
Nah.
Kris, any updates that you want to share? I mean, like I said, we talked to you about 6 months ago. So
I see Jason said I hear Crowley staring at me.
That's our puppy.
Nah, it's business as usual, man. As everybody has seen over the past few months, I've been hitting the league table hard. I've been trying to do as many records as possible.
Yeah.
And I have been honored to be able to break some of them, but records are meant to be broken. So,
yeah, for sure.
I expect anybody and everybody to try to beat my records, and some people have been very fortunate enough to do so by pushing themselves beyond limits. Never Better Club, Goot, Brandon, all those guys. I did a video with Broken Charlie. Like everybody, I want everybody to push themselves to be better and be a better version of themselves. And it's amazing how involved everybody has been in the last few months after I started knocking out records. And I love to see it. See it. But it's been business as usual, doing challenges, getting my name out there, just steady course.
Awesome. And I know, like, in a couple of my recent interviews with the new competitors, with the competitors of this event, you've been mentioned in that and this is where I get the genuine thing. Really, when you started your push of hitting the records, it wasn't to hit records that couldn't be broken initially. It was just to see how far you could test yourself.
Yeah.
And you're like, come get them. And then other people were like, well, he can't have them all, so let's go get them. And I like it. I feel like you kicked off an amazing rush of people wanting to see how far they could push.
Yeah.
I kind of credit you for that. I really do.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It wasn't about me just holding all the gold and waving certificates in people's faces.
Oh yeah, I don't believe
it's about growing myself. Like, I know I have an insane tolerance, but it's not always about tolerance. It's about prep and your stomach. And my stomach is my worst enemy right now. Like,
yeah,
I can eat the hottest of the hot and not even flinch, but once it hits my stomach, man, that's it. I have weaknesses. I'm not untouchable. I'm not unstoppable. Chug challenges are my weakness. Like, I could sit and eat pods all day, but I'm so thrilled that everybody else is like, well, we can't let him have all this, and then they're just pushing themselves beyond what they've ever pushed themselves before.
Right.
Hey, Beth.
So Miss Beth, Miss Scoville Unit, so tell us how you got started in the world of heat. Let's get your story.
Well, you all know me know that I love you, Crazy J and Goot. You guys kind of got me piqued interest, besides Kris, of course. And I'd watch you guys and I'd be like, oh my God, these guys are nuts. But I'd like panic. And then I started, getting to watch you guys more and more. And then it would grow to Midge. And Midge was the first hot sauce I ever tried.
What's up, Dr. Crocker?
Hello, beautiful Liz. And then Midge got me into trying sauces. And then Today's Adventure used to hold competitions that Kris would travel to. And then I'd be like, I think I could kind of eat a hot wing. Like, kind of tried it. It did not go well. But I tried it. And, like, you guys started intriguing me more.
I agree, Sonny.
Thank you, Sonny. And then Late for Work came along, and Kim's now my best friend. She was in my wedding. And Jason, I always joke
my boy
about this since I joined. Like, I've watched everyone in the belt match and everyone in this chat. I've watched your videos, and let me get creepy for a minute. I've been watching you, and I've been seeing, okay, this is how they do this. This is how they handle this. This is how I can do this. And taking it to make my own. And everyone else had like 6 months. I went from eating no pods to eating 3 to 12 till it's going to be a surprise to see how many can eat now in less than a month. So
I just want to point out, we were in Erie this past weekend for a Harvest 912
fundraiser. I was going to
fundraiser.
talk about those events that you've been.
Yeah, when she says that she's going to surprise people,
not intentionally, but like
she's going to surprise a lot of people.
Alexandria from Never Better Club, but I always joke saying my mom didn't raise no B word, but Jason from Late for Work and Kris built a monster, and I am like I'm on that road, and you guys have all trained me to be there. Like, even you, Crazy J, you're just like, I do things the crazy way. And like, that sticks with me. I said that last night before bed because I did a Robbie of Tink.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, this is nuts. Like, when did I go from this to not worrying about having work the next day? Right. And I have a friend at work that I vent to about it. And I think he's watching right now about how scared I am. And then I have Sean in the pack. Like, I have people that build me up too and watch me every step of the way and guide me. And Sonny is one of those people. I am so fortunate to know you, to know everyone in here, because you guys make me who I am. And Jason amplifies it. Like, he pushes me. I've never done double challenges until Jason, he sits me down and he's like, okay, this is what you need to do.
The correct term is multiples thereof.
Right.
And now I'm up to like 32 cinnamon bears. But yeah, that's what's going on. You guys all inspire me. And I just want everyone to be proud of me because you guys are what helped this. In less than a month, this is what you made. So I'm trying for you guys because you guys push me too. You guys inspire me, especially you and Goat.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. So, Mr. Scoville unit, there's been a few events that you've been in part of for like fundraising, and I think what was it, the Harvest 9? What is it?
Harvest 912.
912. Yeah, I didn't want to get that wrong. So let's talk about that a little bit, like those fundraisers and how they were helpful.
So Harvest 912 is a nonprofit organization that is committed to helping those in need one lace at a time. And by saying one lace at a time, they provide foot care, foot products, shoes, boots, socks, medical kits, stuff like that. And they actually have a, what should I say, a foot doctor office on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
We went down there and we met up with them. We met Kit and Tad for the first time, and they were with Johnny Scoville. We walked on the bus, people. And it was incredible. You literally walk in, normal two bus seats, and then you got shelves here. You got 2 seats in the back with like water things where you wash the feet. But they're a big part of just helping anybody in need that can't afford sneakers or foot care, or this and that.
Yeah. And they
it's
have
like a driving clinic.
Homeless too.
Yeah, there was people walking by that were homeless guy was walking by, and they walked out and gave him a bag and it had snacks and stuff in it. And
just all around good.
It was amazing. But the fundraiser this weekend was to spotlight their company. What was it called? The place we did it at. Every month they spotlight. They're gonna start howling.
Yeah, the dog. Boomer's teaching the puppies how to howl.
So yeah, they were having the company spotlights one fundraiser every month, and they ended up being the spotlight this month. So we went down to help them, and to incorporate the pepper community into it, they held a spicy challenge. And originally it was supposed to be peppers, but it ended up being a Johnny Scoville 6 hot balls, and then it turned into Tube of Terror.
It's a eerie food court.
Yeah, it's like a big food court. It has all sorts of food businesses in it and everything. But it was really cool. So I'm pretty sure the way I understood it is that any proceeds or any profits made, they got a percentage of it donated to their cause in the whole building. So I thought that was awesome too. But yeah, they had the competition, and originally Beth wasn't allowed to compete because she wasn't considered an amateur. But after some community comment, talking and this and that, they decided to open it up to her. They opened it up to Proctor.
Which scared the death out of me.
Yeah. Hensenburn, right? I kept saying it wrong. I kept saying Heisenberg because I didn't notice it said burn.
Isn't that from Simpsons?
No, it's actually it's from Breaking Bad.
Oh.
But he didn't want to compete because he had to drive, but they opened it up to everybody. And originally, they only had like 2 or 3 people signed up because everybody was afraid. But they gave me the clipboard. Yeah. I said, give me 10 minutes. Give me the clipboard. I'm going to go get you some people. I literally took less than 10 minutes. I literally walked maybe 30, 40 feet, and I had 8 people sign up and snap a finger.
I did some wheeling and dealing.
I did some wheeling and dealing. I didn't know if there was a sign-up fee or anything. So I'm like, I said, tell these kids, here's the deal. I will pay for your entry fee as long as you sign up. Right. You're pretty much getting money if you sign up. I said, if you come in second or third, you get a gift card, you get a T-shirt. Another one, 3 kids were working at a noodle stand, and I said, oh, you guys should come. They're like, oh, our boss isn't here, and she's leaving at 4. I said, well, here's the deal. I said, one of you is cover, one of you is come to the competition. If your boss calls, just tell him you had to poop. Gone for 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the most. And then you split the profits with each other, so you both make money. And the one kid said, okay, I'll watch, and you go compete. And the kid ended up competing. Nice. But Beth put on a clinic, man.
I was getting ready to ask her. Talk about your experience with that, Beth, with the 6 hot balls challenge.
That was a 0 for me. I felt so bad saying that because, like, everyone was suffering. And, like, I really thought I was still an amateur because, like, I can do tink a little bit. and I've only been practicing a little bit, and it's been such a short amount of time. I could have kept going, and I'm like, these are actually really good, and I could actually taste the flavor. And I remember Jason saying to me and Kris that eventually you can taste the flavor of stuff instead of just the spicy, and that's what I was. And I thought it was delicious. But I'm really proud of myself because that's the first time I ever pushed myself.
And to go from struggling to do a chug challenge and worried about doing pods to taking on a 6-hop ball, and based on my calculations from watching the video, just over 2 tubes of terror.
Right. Wow.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of capsaicin intake for not being used to that kind of stuff. But it was honestly, it was a show. And the funny thing is like, Johnny kept like saying, "Okay, where are you at?" And when she said she was at a 0, he's like, "Wow!" Like he couldn't even believe it.
I was too, and I'm like, "How? What's happening to me?" So it's awesome.
Oh, Hob.
Awesome. So we know how you kind of got started. There's a little background. Beth, talk about your first League of Fire challenge and your experience.
My first League of, I think it was the Pocky chip or the dual chip.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the dual chip. And I felt bad for Kris because he has no spicy friends down here. And I'm like, oh, I'll do it. How bad can it be? Oh, boy. My first experience with cap cramps, my first time thinking that I had a medical injury that I needed to go to the ER for. It was horrid. But it only lasted a little bit because I vomited it up, and then I was good. And that's my thing. As soon as I vomit, I'm golden. Nice. I have no cramps, no nothing, knock on wood. And it helps me pretty good. And a lot of people are worried about their stomach. I'm worried about my throat.
Okay.
Because that's it. I'm not worried about my tolerance. I'm not worried about my stomach. That's it. So guess I got to sling some hot sauce in it. And then once that's good, I think I'm going to try
to at home. That tincture straight to the throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun, like getting to know you guys. You know, I've met you a handful of times in person, and like I said, that's where I get the genuine from. I've met a lot of people now. Like my spicy wifey's originally from Erie, so we got to get up there, meet the Dr. Proctor before, and go out to Texas to meet Goot. There's a whole lot more I need to meet, but it's really neat to interact. Like I said, it's such a natural interaction with people when we have this in common right here, and it doesn't feel awkward in any way, you know. And I love that about this.
You're not allowed to eat those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
trying
crazy.
to eat the pods on the table.
That could be.
He's a chatterbox.
I named him Habanero, and he's the loudest and most obnoxious one out of all of them.
He's so embarrassing when we go to the vet. He'll see an animal and be like, "Wow, wow, wow, wow." I can't even do it.
He'll start whining at it.
It's so embarrassing. But I did take Liz up on where she said to go to dinner, though. Let me tell you what. I was so impressed. They were so packed. And outside was packed. But yet they had my food there in minutes. I'm like, what the F?
Excellent.
Like how?
He wants mommy.
But I love Erie, and I'm excited because I got to meet Ben. And Ben, Kris goes, just Dr. to let Proctor. You know, if Dr. Proctor's there, he's going to hand you your butt. And I'm like, why? Like, what? And
yeah, but it's been a while since he's done it.
Oh, there she is. There's my girl. Hey, Liz.
Hi. I heard you talking about Erie, and
we took your advice. We went for food.
Sloppy duck.
Sloppy duck.
Oh yeah, great place. Great
so good.
Yeah, I got their food. Right? Fantastic.
Awesome.
They were packed too. They had an outdoor thing going on.
Yeah, they had like a wedding.
Oh wow!
Surprised you got in. But yeah, great. So, Kris, is anything new? Let's talk about some of your records you've hit in the past recently. What are we currently holding the record of right now?
I know currently right now I have the Crunch. Okay. I still have the 7-Pop Primo.
I don't think anybody's going to touch that ever.
I lost the Ginger one. I lost the Unbearable. trying to think what else. Do I still have the crunchy, or did I lose that?
I don't know.
I honestly haven't been looking, so I couldn't even tell you.
I think you still have that one. I'm not even sure either.
I know I lost some of them. I lost a couple of them, but
right. But I love that you're right there to cheer them on and help push them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in no way, shape, or form am I expecting to hold those records forever. Nor will I get upset if it happens. But
oh yeah,
I want to see everybody succeed. I'm still currently in first on the crunchy one at 8.
Okay, awesome.
What do you rank overall?
Well, right now overall I'm number 4, and then for the season I'm number 1. I put on a bunch of points over the last few months to try to secure that and keep it. I do have some stuff lined up. Speaking of records, I'm actually going to be attempting 5 of the newly released Chupacabra chugs by none other than Midge.
Oh yeah,
from Creature Sauce Company. Quick pop there for you, bud.
I'm excited that he's releasing that.
It happened pretty fast. Someone, I think Midge commented about it, and then I said I'm thinking about ordering a bunch to go for the record, and then someone's like looking for a sponsor. I'm like, yeah, always looking for a sponsor. And then before I knew it, I had the confirmation that I had 5 of them on the way.
Nice.
So it's just, and I'm also going to be trying my luck, and Dylan's probably going to hate me for this one, but since Trouble Bubble is being discontinued, I'm going to attempt to do the Trouble Bubble record. I'm just not sure I can because I do not have as big of a mouth as Dylan.
I was going to say, I
want to give massive props to that dude, man. I want to give massive props to Dylan because he came in and just started swinging and to just crush that, and then crushed it again to outdo himself, to beat his personal best. I know he has more than enough to do it again, and he has more than enough to try to beat it if I end up doing it, which, again, I don't have a big mouth like that, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it.
Dylan.
But massive props to him, man. Just unbelievable.
He'll call me and he'll be like, guess how much is in my mouth? Or like he'll send me a photo of his garbage can with this huge wad of gum.
Yeah, I just
38 piece. He goes.
Nice. Practicing.
Yeah.
And I will say that was a heck of a push he did, because I know he was struggling toward the end of that with that heat just in the mouth and everything.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, Jason has said he could fit 30 plus pieces in his mouth of Trouble Bubble or
he practices
bubble yum, but
so if he could get past the burn of all that, my goodness.
Once that capsaicin's involved, it's a whole different ball game.
For sure. So Beth,
all right, go get it.
Let me go take care of the dog.
Recently got into it. Talk about your prep, because I know, like with Spicy Wifey, sometimes he just jumps in a challenge, no prep gang. So let's talk about yours.
So what would happen is everyone talked about potatoes. I can't eat mashed potatoes. I like they even come close to my mouth. I gag like a SOB. So I'm like, okay, people talk about pasta. Whoever recommended pasta, you heard it here first. I don't like you. And that's me being PG for Crazy J. But no, it was so bad. I tried the pasta. I was fine at first, but then it won't come up. And I did a lot of pods. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is what Kris and Jason told me about, where it's just so unbearable that you even after you vomit, it's bad. But then I vomited. And it came out my nose, it came out my eyes, and then I looked poofy. And then I realized whoever told me the pasta thing, I'm going to deck them in the jaw. And then, so now I'm on pizza, and pizza is the only thing that does it for me.
Nice.
I tried waffles. That's not, So I don't know. I guess just pizza.
So while I have you here, talk about your hardest push in a challenge.
Oh boy.
What was the toughest challenge for you to do, and or hardest push?
I hate to say this, but I haven't done my hardest push yet.
Well, I'm saying to this point, what have you done so far? What is maybe even surprised you?
I think Harvest 912, because I don't like when people stare at me, as weird as that sounds, but like it makes me feel like something's wrong with me, and it makes me feel awkward. And it makes me insecure, and I'm having a hard time when that was happening, I didn't know if I was nervous
agree,
in
Mitch.
my stomach or my stomach bothered me. Because of the peppers, but I could keep going with no issue. So, and I didn't have cramps. So I think that's it, because I've never done back to back like that. And I think how hard are those challenges? Like for me, that was
hard to
rough.
actually say.
It is hard to gauge, and that's why we each give what we call a heat gauge within ourselves. We're like, for me, this is based on the reaction that we're experiencing. So I mean, if that didn't affect you, other than just the
12 pods,
volume and yeah.
Like after my 12 pods, I panic. Like I just I guess eating pods because they hit different. They're more spicy.
Oh yeah, they're open. Sure, yeah.
And I got a tongue hole for my tongue ring, and when I vomit, it swells.
Nice.
And it's so bad.
Nice.
And I can't move my tongue. I call Kris like this.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's I think eating pods is my push, because I don't like the taste and I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
That's all right. My first time competing in front of anybody, I did it in the freaking belt match last year. And then I went and did the pods the following day, so it was just like trial by fire, right?
You did great though, Ben. I think everybody did great.
Yeah,
that
Proctor, you
day.
did good.
So Kris, I don't know if we talked about this yet or not in an interview, but you held a wing off at a wonderful place. And you're interested in making that an annual thing, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Growing that out. So let's talk about the most recent one, obviously the one that you did with the sauces you used and how it came about. Talk about that.
So we literally went there one day for dinner, and I was looking around, and I'm taking photos, and I posted that we were eating there, and I tagged Bartarina and said, I wonder if they'd be interested in having a wing off competition. And they immediately responded and said yes. So kind of got the conversations put together, and we had a meeting, and it kind of just like rolled into this big thing. The sauces, on the other hand, I kept thinking about sauces that I have tried that have either turned my stomach or hurt me over the years. So I pretty much implemented
That would be awesome.
all of
Mitch.
those. Yeah, Mitch, definitely. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to use your chupacabra sauce, the chug challenge for a sauce. That'd be awesome. To be honest with you, that'd be cool. But I wanted to implement some of my sauces at the same time. So I took 3 of my sauces to promote, and then I took sauces from the community, which is the 2 da bombs that are the most disgusting sauces I've ever had in my entire life.
As the number 4.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be like least to greatest. Like I kind of just started snowballing it.
I get it, and
So
I like the way that worked.
But I did save the 2 hardest for last. That was the Raging Bull and the Black Mamba 16.
Yeah.
And Jason said wing off was set up. It kind of was. It was meant to hurt people. Like it wasn't meant to be easy. But the interesting part is 6 people made it to the final round.
Yes.
And I was lucky enough to have pods available and able to weigh them out to the even amounts and do a speed round, which I know people don't like speed rounds and this and that, but it's a competition.
Awesome.
You should be ready for anything. In a competition, when you're competing for something, you should be ready for anything.
Yeah, for sure.
You should be ready to do a chug. You should be ready to do a tube of terror.
What?
You should be ready to do a speed round. It does not matter. You should be ready. You're in a competition. This isn't a hand me a participation award. It may
The
upset
point
people.
is to eliminate people.
The point is to eliminate people. To have
the
one
whole
person
purpose of it,
stand
right.
in.
Yep.
And I get it.
Jesus.
You go through enough pods. Like for the belt match that just happened this past weekend. Congratulations to Mike Jack.
Right.
They each consumed 50 pods.
Yeah,
That is a lot of pods.
that is a lot.
And then on top of it, they did a Killer Queen. But you can't just keep feeding pod. You got to keep it where people are going to stay interested and
Yes.
excited for it. Obviously, your extreme chili heads are going to be like, just eat pods. Just keep eating pods. Like, you can only go so far. You know what I mean? Until you lose interest. That's speed round. The energy that you get from that speed round. Seeing it firsthand. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's just
No, I agree. And I think that was a great
We
event,
have-
and I hope it is something that continues to grow for you and the community itself.
Yeah, we're already in talks of doing the second annual event next February.
Awesome. So this is a question for you, Beth, but it's about Kris. Let's talk about when we know he's getting ready to do some serious challenges. What's the day like in the household of the Scoville team? When he knows he's getting ready to compete. What's that like?
He sleeps in after setting 3 alarms and waking me up. And then I trot downstairs angry at him because, he woke me up. And then he comes trotting downstairs, stomping really, because he decided to do a challenge that day that he don't want to do anymore. And this is every single time. Every single time.
I know that stress that comes in, the anxiety that comes with that.
And then as soon as it comes close, Beth, I can't do anything. I got to do my challenge. And that is for a good hour before the event, right? And then afterwards, if I say one word to him,
Midge.
he tells me to shush and get away from him. And then he acts like he's dying. And then he acts like a crocodile rolling on the floor like an idiot, getting all sorts of on the floor. And then, he's miserable. And then he pukes. And then he's like, so what's for dinner? Yeah. And then we go get dinner. And then that is my day. Every single time.
Every single time. I literally wake up with a whole list of things I have to do, panicking because I never feel like I give myself enough time to prep. Because I really should be prepping.
I was going to ask that. Do you try to distract yourself with like the activities, or do you literally say, no, I can't do that because I got a challenge?
I literally fill myself up with stuff I have to do throughout the day.
Okay.
And then I'm getting to like 5, 6 o'clock and I'm panicking because I have to do a video in 2 hours and I didn't even eat anything yet. And
yes.
Every time. Beth, I need my mashed potatoes. And they're like in the box. Like, don't you just add water, Kris?
Milk and butter.
Oh, milk.
But
my bad.
when she comes down from work after I get done doing the challenges and I'm cramping, and she likes to talk to me when I'm cramping.
I'm waiting for him to get out of the bathroom.
And I'm a no, don't talk to me kind of person when I'm cramping, or I'm going to rip your soul out and spit it against the wall. Because I don't want to be bothered when I'm cramping.
He's a jerk.
So, Kris, we know that the Dallas event that took place came down to a speed round, and you were as close as second place can possibly be to first place.
6 seconds.
Yes.
You played in my head every day. 6 seconds.
Well, and I was going to ask, is that something you've been working on? Is there? And you don't have to give secrets away. I'm not.
Yes. Have you been working on your 6 seconds?
I've been practicing speed eating, chewing a couple times and swallowing. Like it's definitely getting easier. I know what I need to do. I understand the method of speed eating. I've been watching videos. Like I'm not afraid to tell people I'm practicing. I know everybody else is too. It's
At this point,
going into a competition, if you're trying to hide that you're prepping and practicing,
what are you
trying to hide that you're prepping and practicing, and that you're a fool because I know everybody's doing stuff. I know everybody's eating high. I know everybody's prepping,
at this point,
buying pods. That's just it's the nature of prepping for a competition.
Kris, you can't be mad because I keep it secret. He's mad because I don't tell him all I'm doing. I can't help that you're at work and I don't want to show you.
Hey, I'm with it.
Yeah.
So, Beth, let me ask you a question. If it came down to a speed contest and it was you and 1 or 2 other people, how do you think you would do?
I'm a badass when it comes to shoving stuff in my face.
Hey.
Pardon my language. Like, have you ever seen me eat a taco? Oh, yeah. I would whoop anyone up in here.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a good attitude to have. You gotta
and
get
I'm the arrogant one.
When it comes to speed eating, I can't help it. I'd even give Mike Jack a run for his money if I was real hungry.
Yeah. But on top of that, that's after you've eaten 12, so many whatever pods, and maybe a chug in between, and who knows what else happens. I don't know.
I don't know. I've been doing pretty good. That's how I've been practicing. One right after the other, but just shoving them in. Because my issue isn't the heat, it's the taste. And I'm trying to get over the taste.
Well, and that's why there's a balance between we gotta wait. We're gonna talk about this pod and you're gonna anticipate it. Yeah. Now the burn's catching up from the last pod, and just like the wing off when we did that. It was.
Yep.
It wasn't the first couple. It
Let
was.
it resonate.
By the time you get to 7 or 8, those 4 and 5 are now hitting you.
It's a date, Eric.
Yeah. There you go. Awesome.
And Speedy Sweetheart.
So how excited, Miss Beth, were you to officially be requested to be in the road to the America's Belt match?
This is going to be really bad, but I was more excited because I think you'd have to interview me.
Hey.
I'm not even joking because you're my favorite. But
Well, I appreciate that.
I took a nap, and Kris goes, "Guess what I did?" As he shook me awake after my 15-minute nap.
15
And he
minutes.
goes, "Guess what you're doing?" And I'm like, "What?" And I think, we're going out to eat. We're doing something fun. You're going to be in the road into the belt match. And I cannot fall back asleep. And I realized in that moment, this is the moment he ends up on Snaps.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the ID channel. This is it. So I have no idea what I really feel. I'm scared. I'm honored, though. I'm so humbled. I know I act like I'm cocky, but I'm really not. I know that I'll probably get handed to me because everyone up there has competed against Kris, and everyone up there has a higher tolerance than me. And like I said, I've gone from a month to them being able to train 6 months. Yeah. And my goal is just to eat one pod and make everyone proud of me. That's truthfully my goal. I just want people to be proud of me because they've impacted me.
You're in something that only 19 people in America are part of. So I mean, in your match, I think there's 9? I think 9.
There's
so
10.
I mean,
ours is 9 now.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like I said, 19 people, League of Fire sponsored challenge at that particular moment. So you should already be proud of the effort that was recognized to get you to that. It's not because you weren't already impressing someone,
I hope so.
So
I just want you guys to realize, everyone in here, that what you're doing is making a change. Your videos you're putting out is making someone happy. Yes. Even if it's just one person, even if it's
my goal.
No one for a little bit, and then someone comes along. What you guys are doing is making someone's life better and making them want to do what you do, and they idolize you, no matter how crazy.
That was the premise of me to continue doing challenge. If my misery can take someone else out of theirs, that's a success.
Even Liz, she is a BAMF. Let me tell you, she just walks in there like, okay, this is what we're doing. So casual, and I'm like, lady, you need to get scared a little bit, please.
Not once has she been that I know of. Nope.
I know. She's so wild.
But you know what? She has never yet done a one-chip challenge, and I got a few of them.
Get to it.
She'd rock it.
Yeah, I think she would. She's done the dual chip, which we all know is not as bad as.
Yeah.
So speaking of challenges that aren't as bad as we expected, Kris, this is a question I don't think and we all know you for the push and stuff anyway. But let's talk about a challenge that might have surprised you, either whether it was worse than you expected or one that was easier than you prepared for.
The Killer Queen 2.0 put me through a loop. I didn't anticipate it to be as hard as it is. And prepped or no prep, that chug is unbelievable. I struggle with it every time I do it. I did 5 or 6 of them. After I failed to do my 3 or 4, I did 6, but I gave up after that. But the funny thing is I get to a point now with chugs where I give up, but I did a boot and rally thing the other day, a couple of weeks ago. I went for the Chug Challenge 1 record. I boot it. I came back to 2 more, boot it, came back and did a Killer Queen and a Scoville Slammer.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember.
And everybody, I just kept getting messages like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Like even Johnny said to me this weekend, he's like, that time you did the 3 challenges in one day, he's like, I don't know what the hell you were thinking.
Right.
But it's just, the Killer Queen 2.0 is by far the hardest challenge, I think. Not just heat-wise, but taste-wise and stomach-wise.
It's thick.
It hits like a bastard. Like
Yes,
I,
it really does.
I contemplated giving up and quitting doing this after South Carolina.
Oh wow!
Because it had me so bad. I literally got PTSD from it. I was afraid of that, and I was making gag noises and trying to avoid doing it.
Well, when I was doing my 10 days, that's kind of what happened to me. I've done the Killer Queen. Well, that was my third session of doing it. And I know that that's the original. And I know that that's been the worst challenge aftermath for me. And every time I get to a point where I'm like, it ruins me almost mentally, physically, and I'm done.
It was weird, though. The cramps were so different with that challenge. It wasn't
well,
just a wave. It was like a constant pain.
Yes.
And when you thought it was over and you go to move, it's like, gotcha, bitch, and it hits you all over again. And it's like, you can't move. Like for 2.5 hours, I was in the bathroom on the floor in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Sweat.
Every time I thought it was done.
Yeah.
Every time I thought it was done, I went to go get up. I got dizzy. My legs gave out and I got cramps all over again.
Yeah. I believe it. I know. So, and there's a reason where originally 9 points was the highest amount of points you can get, and they made it another point higher because it is that much worse. You know, they were like, well, we have to top it somewhere, you know, and it is. That 1 point is not even close to representative to how much worse than the Killer Queen 1 actually is. Yeah.
Midge, I got 5 of those Killer Queen 2.0s if you want them. I'm definitely interested in that.
Man, he was bumming me for the Killer Queen 1s. Man, he's ready for prep time.
Yeah, I got 5 Killer Queen 2.0s if anybody's interested in buying them.
There you have it.
Obviously at a discounted price but yeah, it's Killer Queen definitely would be my answer to that.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Beth? What was something that maybe well, you already said the 6 hot balls was not as hot as you probably expected them to be. But what about the other end of that, which was like something that was like, oh my goodness.
So Sean in the Pack makes this hot sauce that I'm obsessed with, and it tastes just like the pumpkin chug, just like it, right? And I would eat it all the time, and I still do. He makes it. What's that pumpkin chug version 5?
V5.
Yeah, I did not like that one. That was probably my least favorite League of Fire.
So his tastes like that, but it's kind of like a mustard. And I would try it on everything, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to try that pumpkin one because it smells just like it.
Yeah.
Well, I kept it down, but this last time I threw it up because I haven't done anything spicy in a while, and it makes me nervous to try it again. So I'm gonna have to go at her again. But that's my wowza.
Crazy J left me on read.
Yeah, I did. He asked me for him, and I actually forgot to respond to him. So I did. I left him on red. He's been hanging for probably a week now. Since him and I did the interview. So this is the point of our show where I offer you both the opportunity for a shameless plug and or shout out. The floor is yours.
How do you start?
Well, thank you for hosting us. And thanks for the lovely Liz for coming on. I love her existence. She is my idol too. And Midge, late for work, Sunny, casually, everyone who's popped on here, thank you for watching. It means a lot. And thank you for watching.
You said you would do one.
These peppers wreck me. I don't know
what is that. What is that? Tell us.
I think it's a Peach Reaper.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a Peach Reaper.
Wait, we don't do it together?
I did 9 of them. What do you mean?
He's been eating them the whole time.
There's a real small one. Why
just do this one. I'll do this one with you. Quit being a whine ass. You just got done saying how big of a hot shot you are.
Before you do that, well, or whatever.
Good.
Where can we see? Yeah, where can we see more of you both?
The Scoville Unit LLC on Facebook, the Scoville Unit ! On YouTube. But before we eat these, she said what she had to say. I want to say something really quick before we get finish up here and we eat these pods.
Yeah.
Something that's resonated with me, and I mentioned this when I did my interview with Johnny Scoville last year. When you had all the hosts on,
yes.
you asked them who their pick was for that.
Yeah. I didn't do that this time.
It resonated with me with all of them said. Yeah, one picked KTB, one picked Mike Jack, one picked Farmer J, and one picked Bat Pants.
Yeah.
Nobody picked me. Nobody thought anything of it.
Kris, who?
And it resonated with me forever because I know I just jumped in and I was doing crazy stuff, but I wasn't doing as much as I'm doing now, and I really wasn't well known, but it resonated with me. And then on top of the fact that I made it to the final area of that and I only lost by 6 seconds, it resonated with me even more. So I'm pushing harder this year than I'm probably ever going to push. Nice. I'm using everything that I've done over the last 2 years to get me where I am today to get me past that 6 second mark from last year.
Oh, I get where this Crazy Jay ask me the question. I get what he's trying to say. Go ahead. Ask me.
Ask you what question?
What he was saying about who I think's going to win. Go ahead.
No, just stop for a second. I'm trying to talk for a minute. I said you go first and I'm going to go.
Kris is going to win. I think Kris is going to win.
No, I'm not asking if anybody who thinks anybody's going to win because that I don't think that.
No, I get your point. And I really do think that last year when that was coming around, I don't want to say you weren't well known, but you were building your brand at a base. And then you started to come up. So you were here for a very long time at your own leisure, at your own will. Yeah. And then when that happened, you went like this. And I mean,
I'm not saying this to say I've taken it personal or I'm upset with anybody's.
No, but I understand what you're getting.
What I'm saying though is that I'm feeding off of this from last year.
Sure. And you should. Everybody that goes to the next level should, I think. I'm
going to push as hard as I've ever pushed. I'm not leaving San Diego without that belt.
Nice.
And that's not me being arrogant. That's not me being belittling anybody. That's me having confidence in myself and knowing that I have not been doing all these records. I have not been sitting down and cramping 2 or 3 times a week, hours at a time, eating pods every other day while I'm at work, doing 16 million Scoville suckers for almost an hour and a half. I'm not doing this to walk out of there empty-handed this year.
I see what the whole push really is. And I did notice, believe it or not, that's when the big push of the challenges and I'm going to do this and came from. And I love it. And like I said, you're still inspiring others at the same time, and that's why I called you very genuine, because I do believe you are. You have a great heart. You both do. But at the same time, that's where that rough and rugged comes from. And that's why I just described you as that at the beginning. Because that's how I feel. That's how I view you.
Don't anybody think that I'm sleeping on any person on that stage. I'm not
no.
I'm not sleeping on Bat Pants, because there's any given day, and I've seen it time and time again, where you bring just someone from the background into a big situation and they show up on the big time.
Sure. And
I've seen the ring off.
The big hitters have a bad day.
And we saw that in Erie. Like, you see it every time. There's always a dark horse.
Yeah.
And my dark horse pick for the belt match is Alexandria.
I could see that too. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. No, but I'm just saying, like, I want everybody to know that I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm going in there more focused than I did last year.
Awesome. So as you eat those pods, go ahead and run down your final thoughts, and then we'll close.
Whoa, that's not the pod that I gave you, you liar.
Uh-oh.
It's chocolate.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Beth.
I still hate these. They taste so gross.
Yeah.
But, chocolate pods are my favorite.
Final thoughts, Beth.
On what?
And on the challenge, we already heard where Chris's goals are, his final thoughts. Let's hear yours as far as challenge. Call anybody you want to call out. I'm not saying it in a violent way, but in a friendly way, or anybody you're gunning to beat for sure. Yeah.
Whew, that's gross. Midge, I would love to speed eat with you.
There you go.
Call me out. I swallowed wrong. Lovely. And Kris, I would love to do a speed contest with you sometime. To prep for Midge.
10 pods, fastest to finish wins.
Ugh.
See, I already won.
You got to start somewhere, right? Yes. Well, you both have been impressive in my eyes, and I love
Thank
watching
you.
you both in
Thank
this
you.
world. And I am inspired by both of you as well. I really am.
Thank
So
you,
I
man.
really am
Appreciate that.
grateful to hear when others are inspired by me, because it is a big deal when you hear that. And like I said, you hit it right on the head, Beth, when you said to do it for people's mental health, and that's exactly what kept me going. And that's why I'm getting ready to jump right back into season 3 of Crazy J's Wild Ride.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Yes. But thank you for your time.
Thank
We will
you,
see
Stuart.
you.
Thank you for having us on, man.
Well, there you have it, Mr. and Mrs. Scoville unit. I'm so thankful they squeezed me into their busy lives. You know, everybody's got stuff going on, but we're less than a month away, a couple weeks away from the big challenge. We will see you soon. I'm Crazy Jay. I like to do things the crazy way. Stay crazy, my friends. I'll see you soon.